it in here because I might forget it. Be a good idea.
We are online.
Recording in progress.
Okay. So I'd like to call this meeting to order. Please join me in saluting the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let it be known that all select board members are here and present today. And I am going to look for acceptance of the minutes of the Board of Assessors meeting on July 28th, and those are attached to your agenda.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for July 28th.
Yep.
Second.
Okay, any questions or concerns with regard to those minutes? Seeing none, all in favor? Okay, so moved. So our new business tonight is to set the tax commitment for 2025-2026 taxes. You guys have the floor.
Let me start it and then I'll
Okay.
hand it off to you. So in front of you, you should see the main revenue services form. There's 3 copies attached. They have 3 different mill rates associated with them. And the at the bottom line, which says overlay, you'll see the first one is at 60,000, the second one is 90,000, and the third one is 120,000. The overlay is the amount of tax that we collect over and above the appropriated expenses, so that we have a cushion to pay for any tax abatements or anything that comes up through the year. Did I say that right? So that comes up through the year. So that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Shirley, the assessor's agent, so that she can explain to you how she arrived at these numbers.
Have either of you new fellows met Shirley?
Yes,
Yes, okay, yes.
thank you. Well, Denise has gone over the overlays, so I did increase values to bring us up to 100%, or close enough so that we can claim 100% and get our reimbursements at 100%. And so the first scenario is a mill rate of $14.25, and that gives the overlay of $60,523.10.
60,000, right?
Yes, the
Yeah,
six,
okay,
yeah.
I thought you said 50, and I just
No,
wanted to make sure I
6.
had the right.
Yeah, sorry, okay. And
It's
then
my
the s-
hearing, I guess.
I'll try to speak up. Okay, so the second option is a mill rate of $14.30, and that gives the overlay of $90,555.91. And the third option is a mill rate of $14.35 with an overlay of $120,588.71. And so from there, we put scenarios together on 2 different properties, Denise's and Sally's. So you could see it's this here, how it changes, what someone would pay in tax. So the first column is a snapshot of last year's commitment and what that looked like for value and taxes. And the second column is, I chose to use the mill rate of $14.30, which is the middle one of our 3 choices, for the second column. So that's what it would look like, and you'd see the increase in taxes on those 2 properties. And the third column, just to take a look, we used this year's values, the new values, and last year's appropriations. So you can see if we didn't need more money, if the town didn't need to raise more money, what it would look like for someone's taxes.
Any questions?
Questions?
Sean? Mr. Bean, sorry.
Shirley, how close are we to the 100%? Are we like 90, 95?
Yes, probably, I'm going to say, I didn't bring that with me, but around 95.
And last year we were at,
We were close enough to claim 100% last year, so we were 91 or higher last year.
going forward, do you got a crystal ball? Are we in good shape at the level, this level?
This town needs a revaluation done badly. So in good shape, I don't know what you mean. Do you mean as far as raising values again?
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
going up this much this time, are we in decent shape?
Well, we need that crystal ball to tell us that.
Okay.
I should be getting, before too much longer, maybe in the next month or two, the 26 state valuation.
Okay.
So we'll see what that looks like, and then I could have an answer for you on that.
And of course, a reevaluation. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Shirley, the three scenarios that you've presented, do you have one particular one you would recommend over the others?
It the way I look at that is what you feel comfortable with for an overlay. I don't see, as far as abatements go, anything that would be alarming that we'd need a lot of money for. So if you wanted to, keep taxes down as much as you could for people, I'd probably go with the 1425.
And again, this is for my own edification, what's overlay?
It's a reserve. The town they can raise only up to 5% above what they need to pay their bills. And that's just for if we have to do abatements and things like that.
So
So
it's
you have
mainly-
money set aside if you have to abate something and give money back to taxpayers.
And is there, again, a recommended level that we should be at for overlay? I mean, is the 6523, is that kind of the minimum we should be at?
No, you could go lower. I've seen some towns do $2,000, but they're smaller towns. Yeah, it's whatever you folks feel comfortable with. I don't foresee any big need at this point. I don't see anything that would cause us to have an abatement to give back a lot of money. So I think a lower, one of the lower overlays might be better. I think, didn't we look at 1420 and we
Yeah.
tossed it out, was that around 30,000 for overlay?
Yeah, I believe it's like 27,000.
Okay,
So when you're looking, every time you go up or down by 0.0005, you're looking at $5 per $1,000 of value.
Up or down.
$5 per 100,000 of value, sorry. So on a $200,000 property, like if you look at mine, $200,000 property at 1430, the mill rate, the taxes are 2860. A 1420 mill rate, the taxes are 2840. So it only goes down $10 between that mill rate.
Mr. Rhodes, did you have a question?
Yeah, I think you might have answered it. Do we have an average of what the overlay was for like the last 5 years and what we've spent on it?
I did not bring the information on what the overlay was before, and I don't know, do you know what that got spent on?
It's ranged anywhere from 25,000 to 175,000. Last year it was 65,000, and we did not use it all. We used a lot of it on a particular property, but the year before that, it was 120, 135,000. And again, it didn't all get used. What does not get used in the overlay goes into the undesignated fund balance of the general fund. And the same if we use more than what is in the overlay, that would also come out of the undesignated fund balance of the general fund.
Understood.
Kathy? Yeah.
So like Shirley, some of the bigger properties or say Eagle Creek, some of the solars,
Yes,
so those have been adjusted this year, am I correct?
Yes.
And the people were pretty, I mean, like, would we have to, you know, refund any of theirs? Would we have to abate any of theirs?
Well, Eagle Creek, we did a new agreement with, do you remember that?
Okay,
So we're good for 4 years with them.
because and so they're completely satisfied, they wouldn't put in for an
They're
abatement,
completely
right?
satisfied,
Okay, all right.
so.
But that's the valuation, not necessarily the tax rate,
No,
not the mill rate.
the mill, right, it's the valuation that we put on, that we agreed upon.
Yeah.
Right,
So,
and they, obviously,
yeah, they've agreed to it for 4
Right.
years, so we're all set.
okay,
For
and
that
how
one.
about like the new solar plants and stuff like that for the?
We haven't had any issues, I have not had any complaints on those,
Okay.
so I don't foresee that happening. You know, we've been okay with it so far, so I think we're fine there. Backyard farms, well, we do next year need to, they wanna renegotiate or negotiate a new enhancement agreement,
Mhm.
so that will be on the table.
Okay.
Pardon?
I saw something today where they're adding on an addition to it.
Yes, and they give us that each year. They send anything new or different, so in a declaration, so we do have that. And I do make the adjustments for that.
Anybody else?
So
Any questions?
we've got a couple of new people on the board. Would it help to go down the calculation sheet and just talk about where each of these numbers comes from?
It wouldn't hurt because I could use it as well.
Right,
Okay.
Okay.
You wanna do that?
Sure,
Thank you, Shirley.
okay. So, on the tax rate calculator, this page, the first number is the taxable real estate value. And the second line is the taxable personal property value. Line 3 is the total of those two.
Can you explain where those numbers come from?
They are just the total value for all the properties in town, taxable, it's not anything that's non-taxable, so, but that is just the total of the calculation of all the taxable properties in town.
And the valuation has gone up again,
It
obviously.
did, it took a good jump this
Yeah,
year.
I was gonna say, and it did last year as well.
Yes, it
so,
did.
yeah.
You know, every year we keep saying, this has got to slow down, so far it has not, so, you know, that's where we need that crystal ball, so,
It's mine.
yes.
Is that number the state number of what, the state values us at, or is that a number you?
I think that's the number that I ended up with value for, but I think the state was around the same, wasn't it?
It was just over 600.
Yes, so we're close to what the state values us at, which is where we wanna be. So, and then, line 4 is the exempt value, the exempt homestead value for all the homestead exemptions. And then that's 4A. 4B, they reimburse on 76% of that figure. So that's 76% of 4A, 4B. And then the Betty property, 5A, is all the Betty qualified. And then the enhanced Betty, which we get extra because we have there's a lot of it. We get all of Backyard Farms, plus I think it came out to 55 or 56%. Usually it's normally 50%, but we did get, with the enhanced, we got 56% reimbursement.
Could you just enlighten us as to what Betty is, B-E-T-E?
Yep, it's business equipment tax exemption, and it's a program set up by the state for all business property, personal property, placed in service from 4/1/2008 going forward. And so then, the line 6 is the valuation base. So it's the total valuation plus those things added back in for Homestead and Betty. Comes out to 661,000, or 661,005,560. And then line 7, then we're into our assessments. County tax, $1,049,902. And the municipal appropriation, $4,525,165.
That's what we agreed on in the budget, in the town meeting.
Gotcha.
And then the TIF financing plan, I'm on the mill rate of $14.25. It's $859,980.38. And that is calculated using the captured assessed value from Backyard Farms in the Woodlands times the mill rate. And what we had for captured assessed value this year was $60,349,500. And line 10 is the education appropriation, $5,488,800. And 11 is the total of the appropriations. And then line 12 is the revenue sharing, $705,041.25.
And let me just interrupt you for a second. That number is about $250,000 less than last year. Last year, we had main revenue sharing at about $950,000. Thank you.
And the county tax increased quite a bit, if I remember correctly too.
I did.
At least 100,000.
Yes, yeah, it was 935,907 last year, and it's 1,049,902 this year, so that went up. And then, so we have our revenue sharing, then other revenues. Do you want to explain that?
Sure.
I don't have that sheet with me.
So the other revenues are anything from excise taxes and, let me get to my spreadsheet here real quick. Excise tax, interest on taxes and liens, lien costs, tree growth exemption, veterans exemption, bank interest on the accounts, license fees, clerk fees, business licenses, and then agent fees for IFNW and BMV, as well as building permits, plumbing permits, state contracts for local road assistance, the the rental income that we get for this building and for the tower is all factored into that. The library assessments from other towns that participate in our library. And yes, that's about it, because the rest of it is calculated below.
Okay, then line 14 is the total deductions, and that's the revenue sharing and other revenues total. And line 15 is the appropriations minus the deductions. So that is what we need to raise, that's the amount of money we need to raise. And line 16 is what we need to raise in the first column times 1.05, which gives us the maximum that we can raise. That's with the 5%. And then line 17 is what we need to raise, and times and it gives us the minimum tax rate we can use. Line 18 gives us the maximum tax rate. So we have to be within that range of tax rates. So we chose, I'm looking at the one that's a 1425 mill rate. So line 19 gives us that mill rate with a total tax for commitment of 8,626,285.95. And it does give us what the maximum overlay could be on line 20, which is $467,940.31. Line 21 is the amount of homestead reimbursement that we'll receive, $294,162.29. Line 22 is the the amount of Betty reimbursement, $498,880.99. And then line 23 is the overlay that we would receive if we use the $14.25 overlay, and that's $60,523.10. So any questions on that?
No questions?
It's a lot to digest. But
Yes, it is.
It is.
But-
It is.
A lot of
So
calculating going
lines
on.
21 and 22 are essentially 4B times the mill rate that's proposed and 5B times the mill rate that's proposed. That's where those numbers come from. If you're a numbers person.
So our duty tonight is to choose one of these.
Is to choose a mill rate
Right.
and a tax commitment. And then Shirley will take care of filling out all the paperwork and we'll have you guys come in and sign. So if you wanted to go with a lower overlay and you wanted to go with, say, you wanted to go with a 0 overlay, you could do the .014158, and that would give you no overlay at all, no extra.
I gotcha. Kathy?
So,
Besties?
okay, Shirley, at what rate, did you increase the values? Like, the value, everybody's valuation got increased by like a certain percentage, is that how that works? Or,
At least, most were probably 30%.
okay,
Yes, I would say that's probably an average. Some are more. I don't know why when you put, I factored up, it doesn't make, I couldn't say everyone's is exactly 30%.
okay.
They're all a little bit different. but-
But that's kind of the range, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
all right. And that's what you,
Oh, go ahead.
and that's what you needed to do to keep us so that we,
Closer, yes,
to the state valuation, so we get 100%, like for the school and all that. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
yes.
John,
So-
Mr. Madden?
Denise, how, the overlay obviously is important, right? And, it's real hard with the last 5 years going from 60,000 to 140 or 30,000. How can I even word this? The importance of keeping that at if we didn't have any money there, how safe would we be with our other finances to make up for the 60? I know you said it comes out, I don't know if you said general fund. Would we be okay if we did reduce that any?
It would be risky if we did not put any overlay on it. I think it would be risky. With this kind of a bump in values and taxes, there's gonna be many people that come in that ask for abatements, ask for revaluations on individual properties. So I think that we ought to have a minimum.
Some safety net.
Yeah, we have to have some safety net, absolutely. I don't think, could we get by with 30,000? I think we could get by with 30,000, and that would be, what'd you say, the 1.14220?
Yes, yes.
So, if you wanted to go that route, that's certainly acceptable, with minimal risk. We have about $1 million that's not designated out of the undesignated fund balance right now, after we take the 500,000 that was approved at town meeting. So we had about 1.5 at town meeting.
And that number wouldn't change people's taxes too much. Like, me looking at it, like, I'm okay with that. It's just, some
Well,
people are gonna complain.
the thing is, you don't wanna have undesignated fund balance that goes below $1 million.
Sure.
You have to have so many months of, basically 2 months of bills that you have to be able to pay. And we've got the school assessment, which is almost $500,000 a month as it is. So the school assessment alone would take up that undesignated fund balance if we hit a snag and didn't collect any money.
Right. Yeah, we definitely need that safety net, without a doubt. Question is, like, how big are we gonna create it?
I think we were leaning toward the middle option, weren't we?
The 30.
Yeah, 15, or 1430, yeah.
1430, and we could probably get by with, you know,
With the 1425,
1425 or 1420.
okay.
Anybody have any other thoughts on that?
What does the 1430 do to people's taxes?
That's the one that we did
Oh, that's what this middle one is.
yeah, it's on the 1430.
And that would give us a 90,000 overlay.
And you said on $200,000, a 5-cent difference was $40. So
Not even.
Not even 40.
So at 1430, my taxes would be 2860.
And 14.
At 1420, my taxes would be 2840. So it's a $20 difference.
difference.
No,
So
it's a 200.
I guess I wouldn't cut myself short on
Well,
overlay
that's
if it
my-
didn't make much difference
Right,
in
it doesn't
someone's
make a
tax
huge
bill.
difference, and we definitely need an
Yes.
overlay, and, I would go with the 90,000 for the second one, the 1430, I would go with that. That would be my thought. Cause you don't wanna cut yourself short, you just can't.
No,
You really don't, we don't really know what to expect either with the
Mhm.
valuations going up so much. So
Yes.
they're gonna be
And they
some
continue to
questions.
go up.
Of course they
Right.
do, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
they have to.
So,
I will say that there may be people that come forward that are on fixed incomes that are gonna be really affected, and then you may find that you're seeing more poverty abatements.
very good thought, yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, they have to really be like, they have to have been not paying their taxes for a bit already before they would even qualify for that, so, I mean, that might be but that would happen even if we were at 1425, because it's not that much of a
Right,
difference.
exactly. Yeah, no, even just under these
Just-
circumstances in
Mhm.
general.
Right. And then,
Okay, so we need to vote.
You need a
yeah.
motion?
Motion.
And, I'll make a motion for the 1430, mill rate.
I'll second.
Any concerns or questions or further discussion? Seeing none, we're gonna go with the 1430.
Should vote.
I'm sorry. All in favor? Opposed?
Opposed?
Voting is Okay. So, with regard to letter E, any other concerns with regard to the tax commitment? Seeing none, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Meeting adjourned. Thank you, Shirley.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shirley.
Thank
Wish
you.
the news was better, but you know.